Hi everybody, this is Ladybug. How y'all doing? I'm doing some stitching this morning, and I decided to work on this particular one. Let me get the sheet out real quick, okay? Okay. This is a 9 count, and I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay. Anyhow, this is a 9 count, and I call it Fantasy Landscape. And I haven't worked on this in quite some time. And right now, I'm kind of up in this corner right in here. Okay. And so that's what I'm working on. I decided to work on this, and that way I can get a little bit, some of this done. Today, it's very, very rainy. We got thunderstorms booming like crazy. And so we are not going outside today. And but yeah, I haven't worked on this one in several months, so I figured I'd pull it out and work on it for a little while, and we'd have a little bit of a chat while I'm doing this. But as you can see, it's got some really pretty colors. Okay, I know I'm kind of doing this at a little bit of a different angle, and so we'll see how she goes. Yeah, I know I didn't do a video yesterday. It's just that I couldn't seem to find the time to sit down and do them. So I figured I'd get one done today, and that way we'll get that out of the way, and then we'll do some diamond painting later on this afternoon. Yeah, because right now it's like not quite 11 o'clock in the morning. So here we go. I'm using a fairly large size needle. I think this one is a 22, I think. And because it requires 4 strands of thread. And that's a little bit much for a 24. So I moved it to a 22, and so it's a little bit bigger of an eye, and this particular needle is a little stouter than your average needle. So, and I'm trying to stitch this in hand because I didn't feel like fighting with it to get it into a hoop. So, what I need to do is dig out one of those um, scroll frames that I've got and find one that'll fit this particular canvas. And that way I can set it up to work on it um, with it being on a frame rather than in hand. I think it would be easier on my hands because I know my thumb and the joint in my thumb gets to hurting after a little while. So yeah, I was watching Miss Linda on one of her videos. I'm still trying to catch up because I am so far behind. Hold on. I had to turn it down real quick. Sorry about that. And so anyway, I watch her as I stitch most of the time. And then what I'll do is I'll get and then that way I can get myself caught up because I am very far behind when it comes to watching the videos. I don't know what I did right there. I don't know. I'll go back and fix it. Anyhow, so how was everybody else doing? For some reason, I'm having trouble right here. I don't know why, but I am. I hope you can see this. There we go. Yeah, I probably ought to get this into a frame next time. And I've got a thing that I can attach to the table, and it'll literally hold a scroll frame. But I just haven't done it. About normal. Ouch. Stabbing myself with a needle. Yeah. But anyway, my Frankie is sitting here on the table, taking a little snooze here while I'm stitching. And I don't know if you can see or no, you probably can't. It's wrong angle. But she's laying here on the table next to me. Yeah. No, it got pretty bad last night. It was windy and the rain was coming down like crazy and thunder and lightning everywhere. Now what? And so it's just ongoing storm. But anyway, I hope everyone is having a good day and that you made it through the night if you had all this rain. I think we even got some flash flood warnings going on. I'm not really sure. I know the temperature's supposed to drop sometime tonight, and which is kind of strange. So, oh come on, it's just not wanting to cooperate here. I'm getting near the end of my thread. That's why I'm trying to finish this sector right here off. All right, there we go. We're getting there. Yeah, my grandson, he took put one of my tables together that I'd ordered, and so my son-in-law, he's got his now. Now we gotta get the other one put together. And that's the one I plan on using out in the living room and on the porch. And it rolls around pretty good, so that's what I'm aiming for. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna end this string here. There we go. There's that one. I'm gonna trim this tail off. So, alrighty. It's not too bad. But I definitely need to get it into a hoop or something. Because I think it would be easier because I'm fighting with it to to stitch on it. Because it's a pretty good sized piece. I mean, it's partially rolled up and whatnot. I don't know if you can see that, but it's partially rolled up. And so it's a pretty good sized piece. You know, I can't remember the actual size. Oh, here we go. It's a 62 centimeters by 88 centimeters. So, and like I said, it's a 9 count. But it's a little bit iffy, to say the least. And so now what I have to do is I have to get out a piece of thread. Unfortunately, you have to pull these threads one at a time. And because you got to leave 4 in the in what you're gonna use right there. So come on, there we go. Then you put these two together. If you can find the other end of it, oh, there it is. You put these two together, and then you put it on your hanger and save it for the next time around. Like this, put it back on your bobbin, your thread holder, whatever you want to call it. Like you put that back on there. All right, there's that part. And then you get your needle threader out of the way. Like so. And you start again. So, come on. There we go. Yeah, I'm still waiting on my Timu to come in. It still hasn't come in. So, and yeah, I've got some leggings that I've got coming in. I've got some more T-shirts coming in. What I'm doing is slowly, piece by piece, replacing all of my T-shirts and stuff because the all the ones I've got are worn out and stained, and so they're ready to be more than not ready to be replaced. That's why I've been taking and buying the Timu ones because I like their styles, and plus I can get it in the size that I need. Walmart's gotten to the point where you barely can get it past a 3X, and I'm sorry, but I'm a lot bigger than a 3X. Besides that, I like my clothes loose. And Timu, they go, in some of them, they go all the way up to I think it's a 8X, 7 or 8X. I don't know, they're pretty good size. But because you also have to consider the Chinese have a different sizing than we do. So if you say you wear an extra large normally in an American made um, clothing, then with the Chinese or the Chinese companies, you have to consider that they cut them smaller, and so we take and uh, if you wear an extra large, then in the ones that's coming out of China, you're going to have to go to two, or even a 3X to get it in the size that you want. It all depends on how it's cut. You know. But we're not doing too bad on this thing. Could be a lot worse, I guess. And this thing is heavy. The um, the eight o'clock is fairly heavy, and then with the stitches in it, it's even heavier. It almost feels like an old tapestry. You know, that's what it feels like. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm not going to stay on here too long, just for a little while, because I got stuff I got to get done again this morning. Plus, I want to put that other table together, and then I got to get some laundry done. Same old, just a different day. So, yeah, I'm having to change and go to a different angle here. Yeah. Oops, I smacked you, didn't I? I sure enough did. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to. It's the only problem with having long threads. You do have a tendency to wave your hand around a lot. Hmm. Come on. There we go. Yeah, this right here is the reason why I'm probably going to have to get it into a scroll frame or onto a hoop or something, because when you're coming back this way, it's really, really hard um, to get the needle to go through because of thickness of the thread. Hmm. Come on. Anyhow, so just keep stitching. Eventually, it will get a certain spot of it covered. You know. Now the color of the thread, the DMC color, is 333, which is a real pretty purple. But yeah, I hadn't pulled this one out and worked on it quite a while. I've been steady working on that cat in the bushes, and eventually that one's eventually get done. But I was in a mood for something a little different today. Yeah. I know Sherry and them have got a. I did it again. Sorry about that. They've got a long. Um, hold on. A long live supposed to be coming up. I don't know. It's supposed to be like a 12-hour thing or whatever, but I'm not sure what the date is. I'll have to check and find out. But I want to join in on that one. Yeah. I don't know if I'll stick with the whole 12 hours or not, but I'll definitely spend at least two or 3 hours on it. So, alrighty, there we go. Now we start another line. I know I'm not talking a whole lot. I'm kind of concentrating on what I'm doing here. Oh, here comes Lily. Here comes the thunder again. It's okay, baby. Yeah, Frankie doesn't like the thunder. Sounds like my grandson is up. I can hear him moving around out there. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here pretty soon and go get myself a cup of tea, I think. Because I haven't had a cup of tea yet. So I'm not fully awake. I don't know how this uh, video is going to work. You know, how it's going to work out. I don't know. So we'll take a look at it before I post it. And if it's okay, then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and post it. If not, I'll probably end up deleting it. I don't know yet. Won't know until I get a good look at how it's turned out. I try to review them before I post them. That way I know for sure if they've turned out right. Yeah, come on. And so we've been on here about 20 minutes now. I know it's just I don't have a whole lot to talk about. Sorry about that. Plus I'm only about halfway awake. So I got up at 9:30, but I just didn't go out there and make a tea. That's all. So I think I'm going to make myself a pot of tea and have a couple of cups of tea. And I might even have some of those um, sugar-free shortbread that Miss Bell sent. I might even grab a couple of those to go with it, seeing as it's almost noon. Yeah, we'll see. Yep. All right, I'm going to finish out this line right here. And then I think I'm going to get off of here and go get myself a cup of tea and something to eat. And I will probably have another video later today. Um, we'll do some diamond painting. And because I got to work on that fairy that I'm working on. So there we go. Come on now. There we go. Well, we got a little bit done. Not much, but a little bit. We'll get some more done later. But right now I'm getting kind of peckish. Not hungry, but I am getting where I need to eat something. Alrighty. There we go. Alright, we're going to end it here. That's what it looks like so far. And we will conclude this for now, and we'll get back with you again later this afternoon. All right, so y'all have a good day. Enjoy your day if you can. And we will see you tomorrow, so later today. All right, bye-bye.